Hello again, friends. Welcome back to Some Down Bring Tarot today with your host Carmela, per usual. And today, per usual, as always, we'll be getting into our week ahead readings. I love these things so much. They're always so helpful to me, and I hope that they are as beneficial to you as well. So we will get into this. So always, before we dive into the piles, I want to show you our collective web, which is really interesting this week. So for those who don't know, I like to do a collective web. So all the cards that I use, the oracle decks, I'll do bottom deck on those, and those will be the collective. It'll be represent the collective message. So something that we can all take away. So all the readings are general. So you take what resonates and you leave the rest. However, they can be a little more precise, like they pinpoint a little more for you and how it is working in your own life. But the general message is like a collective. So I consider the collective every single body, every single person is working with this energy on some level, because we're all interdependent and all connected to each other. So that's what our web is. So let's show that off today. So the first card I'm going to start with is our power animal. Super interesting. We actually got Lizard for this week, number 36. So I'm super happy to see Lizard out here. Lizard is basically telling us that collectively what we're going to be doing is some dream work. So for some of this actually will be dream work in our dream state, clearing out, sifting through old past lifetimes and timelines in our dream state, so that we can highly attuned to our highest possible outcome, our highest possible timelines, just because that's the energy that we're moving into. It's very beautiful. Even though technically Lizard says you're always on your highest possible timeline, however, we're moving into highest possible timelines in relation to grace, ease, comfort, joy, abundance, and learning through those avenues, besides learning so much through challenge, adversity, pain, and suffering. So Lizard is coming through with a collective message this week and this entire moon cycle, I feel, to represent and say that we're going to be doing some dream work. And this also represents material dreams as well. What are your desires? What are your wishes? And weaving those into being. So that is the energy that we're getting from Lizard this week. I feel like this is like, that energy is like it's actually a bulkier cycle than just this week. So we also have the Amenti Oracle with the laws of Ma'at, and the collective message we got this week is I relate in peace, which I think pairs really well with Lizard. I was actually surprised to see this card because I rarely see it. But I feel like what this is doing is saying, introducing more diversity into your life, and really appreciating the beautiful diversity that is present in your life, and how beautiful the world is when things are allowed to be different. So relating in peace and compassion and love to things that are different from you, different from your own dreams and your own goals, like seeing people do something that they want to do and not applying your own judgment and limitations to them, and which to a certain extent you will do naturally. You'll say, that's not something I'll personally do, but good, kudos for them. Obviously there are some things in our lifetime that will and should be challenged so that it could be worked through and move through. However, what we're working on collectively this week is relating in peace. So using peace more so as a tool this week, and less aggression. So our chakra wisdom card we have this week is the fifth chakra, throat chakra, with connect with spirit. And I feel very called to read this portion here. I am open to the truth and I welcome spiritual inspiration from others. So I feel like that goes really well with Lizard Spirit and our other message that we got that I'll show off pretty soon here, and just this energy of relating in peace, understanding how everything is interwoven, interconnected, and truly understanding that is how you do connect with spirit, because spirit is like the collective mind, the collective force that is moving us all together. So funny enough, to go with all of this, we have cosmic dancers. So I pulled cosmic dancers this week to represent how to get your energy moving, if you feel stuck or stagnant at all this week, or you feel like your life is feeling a little dull or mundane, I pulled these cards to represent what you can do to kind of shake out of that energy. So for our collective energy we got, look at that, look in the mirror. So I love how we have relate in peace with the dream energy from Lizard, and also looking in the mirror. So this is looking at yourself in a non-judgmental sense, also forgiving yourself, loving yourself, and offering that same thing to others. I hear the message too coming through of look at others as a mirror. Look at others as a mirror. So look at the universe and see what it's mirroring back to you, and look at your reflection. See your reflection in everything. And there seems like there's a guarantee or a promise here that if you look at your reflection and look at the beauty in everything, you'll see that same beauty in you. So it's really, really beautiful how this message is coming through. I really like that a lot. And then we have a lot of cards this week, and I feel like we have a lot of cards mainly because we just had a new moon in Pisces. Oh yeah, Pisces is like illusion and dream work too, so it totally makes sense. I just thought about that. I literally just thought about that when I said that. So we had a new moon in Pisces, and our next full moon is coming up, I believe, March 23rd, which will be in Libra. So a lot of balancing, a lot of the word is flavor. A lot of flavor in that forecast. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but it feels very flavorful. So I'm excited. So we have a lot of cards. So I still have 3 more to go through. So let me just get to them. So our Whispers of the Ocean. So this is our card to tap into the flow of the unknown or the unseen or uncertainty. This card will represent how to do that in the individual piles, but this is how we'll do that as a collective. The card we got as a collective is be insightful and established. Ground and rebalance your energy. Bring your awareness into the now rather than allowing it to occupy the past or the future. I feel like this is a really beautiful card too, and it's also like making us, or not even making us, but giving us an opportunity to look at where we the card is asking, what is our point of reference? Are we referencing from the past, now, or the future? What is our point of reference? That is the question with the Whispers of the Ocean card. So I feel like when it comes to spirit, what is your point of reference when it comes to who you are as a human being, as part of a collective? What is your point of reference? What do you use as your own standard, and what do you use as like, what is it that you're looking at? Where is your awareness? Which is really interesting. Where is your awareness? That's the key right there. So our Moonology cards, I pulled these to actually represent or get a peek at what this moon cycle is doing for us. What are we doing this moon cycle? So for the collective, I got don't let pride get in your way, which makes a lot of sense, right? With full moon in Leo. It makes a lot of sense with this energy of looking in the mirror, working with your dreams, because your dreams are interdependent. Other people are going to help manifest your dreams. You are helping other people to manifest their dreams. And when you look at other people as a mirror for your own self, it totally makes sense to not allow pride to get in your way. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't allow pride to get in your way, you allow yourself to be human. You allow yourself to be humane and to act in a humane manner. And sometimes it is that the most humane thing that you can do for somebody is tell them the truth, which can carry some anger, some frustration. But I feel like right now what we're being asked to do this week is really allow the world to reflect back to us what we're doing and who we are. Like, allow the world to be a mirror and just look and see, in the now, and feel in your body what is the truth for you, or what is the truth that you're cultivating. What is the truth that you're cultivating? Allow other people to help you too. Allow other people to help you. So our last deck we have is the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and I pulled these cards to see what Animal Spirit will actually be helping you throughout this entire moon cycle. From the new moon to this full moon that's coming up, they asked to be here. I did not have a choice, so they really, really wanted to be here so that they could represent, like, hey, you have some work to do this moon cycle, which actually doesn't feel like a lot of heavy lifting, but they wanted you to know that they are here helping you in and helping you work out some of these energies. So for the collective, we got the Sandpiper Spirit with Be Playful, which I love that so much. So I feel like this is, even though healing work is difficult, sometimes it can feel treacherous or hard because it seems like we're in this phase of like the trailblazer phase where we have to go first. So what happens when you have to go first is usually that means you have to go in the dark. So this energy is basically saying be playful and not take everything so seriously, and don't absorb and observe every single little thing. Don't try to go after and attack every little thing. Just work it one way at a time, and remember remember to introduce playfulness and fun into your life. It'll make this transition that you're going under, this transformation that you're going under, a lot easier. So I'm super excited for our readings today. We'll also be using our Osho Zen Tarot deck this week for our reading. And funny enough, bottom deck is Trust. And I actually wasn't going to show this, but I felt really guided to show it. And it makes sense. It makes total sense. But we'll be using the Osho Zen for some divination this week. So our piles, we have 4 piles per usual, a lot of cards to get through, and we have these cute little crystals. So on pile 1 we have the green glittery generator stone. I'm sorry, it like loses focus sometimes, my phone does some weird stuff. And then we have our little opalite, but I love this stone so much, it's just so cute. And then we have our pyrite chunk on pile 3. And then on pile 4, we have the red generator's stone. So yeah, really excited. So do whatever little witchy thing you have to do in order to get you in the mood for your reading. And I, my friend, will see you there. Hello group 1. For all of our friends who chose the green generator's stone, this will be your reading. I love that stone so much. It's one of my favorites. All right, let's dive into this. So let's move all of your oracle cards to the side over here, and we'll pull over the tarot and get into your power animal message of this week. So you have, the blank. I'm so happy to have the blank. All right, let's see. There's a lot. This is like a deep dive. So what I'm seeing with this card is I started out at the ocean with dolphins, and it's like I kept diving deeper and deeper and deeper. They got darker and darker and darker, and as it got darker, it felt more magical and more potent. Like I have like my arms and my stomach, my entire body right now just feels like charged with like this super potent like electric energy, like diving deep down into the ocean, almost like reaching the bottom. And I also see like these type of like scarabs, or like these very large beetles kind of just like crawling everywhere, and they don't feel creepy at all. It feels almost like a cocooning or a covering or something, like helping to revive you or revitalize you. Is very beautiful. But I just feel like there's like this depth to the ocean, and it's just going down and down and down and down. And I honestly feel like what is in this medicine shield is just the depth of the ocean. I feel like this week what you're going to be diving into is this understanding of how deep your ancient wisdom runs, how deep your well is, how deep you are as a human being. Like, it seems like you're an extremely deep person, and there are like places inside of you that are so magical and that have been so like they've just been left unexplored. There's also just so much beautiful rich coding inside of your DNA from past lives, from your ancestors, from everything. I can definitely see you receiving some type of Reiki healing this week, if that's something you feel drawn to, or some type of like ancestral clearing or something like that, which is funny because a friend of mine actually just offered that to me. So it's funny how that's coming through right now. But this feels so much like depth, like deep, thick deliciousness. It feels like delicious, sweet, deep water. It's very beautiful. So if you can get into a body of water this week, I would definitely recommend it if you can. Makes total sense because we just hit that new moon in Pisces, so that is the cycle that we're in, so it makes sense. But you know, sometimes I have to say that for my brain, so that my brain is like, but how does this all connect, you know? So but it like sometimes I just say stuff like that to help soothe my mind, so that it knows that it's all, you know, it's doing its job. It's translating well, basically, is what I'm trying to say to my brain. So if you ever had that thought too, like that's what you're doing, is basically reaffirming your brain, like treating your brain like it's a dog. Like, yes, you're doing a good job, buddy. It's fine. You're translating very well. So yeah, this is really cool though. This is really deep energy. I feel like I could like charge a literal like electric car right now with this energy. It feels very charged. It feels very powerful and super potent. I just feel like there's some stuff that's waiting to be unlocked inside of your DNA, some like ancient wisdom, some type of clarity, some type of understanding, something that's waiting to be unlocked, and you're going down, taking that deep dive to go explore. But it's so sweet, it's so tranquil, it's so serene, it's very peaceful. It's a peaceful energy. This is a chance for you to kind of like get the other side of things, because it seems like you are very focused on the 3D, the material, the linear side of things, because you're a human being. Of course you would, because you're human. But I feel like this week, or even this moon cycle, you're diving more so into the depth of who you are as a human being, because you want to bring something out of that deep dive. It's like you're diving deep into the ocean to go find treasure and bring it back to the rest of the world. So that's what I see you doing this week with this energy. I feel like really the card is in reverse, not because of negativity, but more so because you're going to be working more with some type of like inside deep stuff, or you might even get some type of metaphysical type of procedure done, like some type of Reiki healing, some type of meditation, or even a tarot reading or something like that. I feel like you'll be working with that energy this week. So it's really cool. So let's dive into some tarot and see what tarot has to say about this energy this week. What is this for you, group one? We have intensity. Yep, it makes total sense. Intensity with the Knight of Wands. And let's see what else we have. The energy is intense, and that's exactly what the ocean looks like too. It's so beautiful how you have like, you know how most of the time when you go swimming, the sun is literally at the top, and you have like these deeper, darker tones at the bottom. That's exactly the same energy. It's very charged. And that's what I was picking up on. So it's always fun when the cards come out and reaffirm. Also interesting when they come out and they what's the word I was saying? they begin like reaffirming what I'm saying. So that's what I see. All right, so we already have two other cards flipping out. Let me see what else we got. So we have slowing down with the Knight of Pentacles, which is beautiful because it's like a tortoise moving toward the ocean, which is just funny. It's just funny. That's why, like, if you are a tarot reader or something like that, and like your intuition is asking you to use like a specific deck, like just just do it. And then we also have the Queen of Wands in reverse with sharing. Okay, and bottom deck is the Nine of Wands with exhaustion. So I actually want to show you the card, because the card is like really cool. Just get a good look at it. Yeah, I feel like this exhaustion card is you just kind of like taking that step out of the 3D, the physical, the material, the linear this week, and more so focusing on something more deep. But I do feel like this is a very charged experience. It does feel very intense. I feel like it's going to be hard to kind of like, it does seem like it will be difficult this week for you to focus on the mundane things, or focus on things that are more human, based, especially with all this wand energy. I feel like this is so much of you like diving so much into your own purpose, like you're going into this space to dig something out of it, some type of ancient wisdom, some type of understanding of self, some type of realization, some type of epiphany, some type of purpose. I feel like the reason why we have slowing down here is because you're pulling back and you're slowing down when it comes to the material around. So there is this like focus, or this desire for everything to unfold in the physical realm the way that you want it to unfold. And the funny thing is that it actually already is. It is unfolding exactly the way that it is designed to unfold for your soul at this time. Now, your ego and your human may not be super satisfied with that, because your ego and your human wants everything to feel very pleasant and very pleasurable. But I feel like what is happening for you is you're doing this deep dive so that even these experiences that are unpleasant can feel more pleasurable. You can gain the lessons out of them, or even if there aren't necessarily lessons, you can know the truth behind them. It does not matter what an experience is. Even if an experience is super bad and it sucks, literally there's there's always something you'll learn from it, even if you're just simply learning that experience was not for you. It was not designed for you. You cannot receive that experience, and that experience cannot receive you. You, even at minimum, you learn that. So it's really, really beautiful energy that I see coming from you. I feel like the Queen of Wands sharing is in reverse, mainly because I feel like there's not going to be a lot of sharing going on. I feel like this is more of a isolated incident for you. This is more of a this is more of like a cocooning type phase for you, because I feel like your battery just needs to be recharged. I feel like you've been dealing with some difficult people these past couple of weeks. You've been dealing with some more difficult things, and there's this need to kind of like go into this ocean and kind of decharge some of this exhaustion and recharge on some of your own ability, on some of who you are. So I feel like this is why you're going into the deep of your own self. It's very, very beautiful. I feel like the Queen of Wands is holding that torch for you, or that candle, and she's just saying like, come down here, like I have much to share with you. I have much to show you. You have much to see. So I feel like that is a really, really beautiful confirmation. And just to summarize what it seems like is going on this week, I don't see anything too like out of the ordinary or crazy. I feel like there are a couple people that may come into your space this week that may help you navigate this energy a lot better if you feel like you're drowning or you're getting lost. However, I feel like this is one of those things that you're going to take slow and steady this week. You're going to win the race. I don't feel like you have anything so much to worry about. Make sure you're watching out for exhaustion. Make sure, I feel like there's another message coming up too with the slowing down card. Make sure you are managing your energy. If someone asks you to do something and you simply cannot do it based on your energy levels, make sure you say no. Set that boundary. Respect that boundary. Appreciate that boundary for trying, attempting to protect you. Because what that boundary is saying is, I don't have the energy for this. This is going to exhaust me. I don't want to be exhausted. I cannot help this person at this time. That does not mean that there are not other people available to help them. That does not, if you don't help someone or you don't do something for someone, that does not mean that there aren't other resources available to them. Allow them to go through the experience and the journey it is to find those resources, even if those resources are somewhere else or outside of their own self. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So I feel like there's definitely going to be some boundary setting this week for you, in particular group 1, where it comes to managing your energy levels, because I feel like this deep dive that you're going into is going to take a lot of your energy. You're going to be doing a lot of deep self-reflecting, which is funny because we've been doing that this past couple of weeks. But I feel like for you, it's like, let's go deeper. I feel like there's some way, in some sense, that it just needs to come even further down. And it seems like there's a little bit of resistance of going further down, because when I'm saying down, I don't mean like a lower in vibration. I mean deep within your own self, to learn who you are. So I feel like there's a little resistance to that, because you don't want to step on something, or you don't want to like run into something you're not willing or ready to face. But I want you to understand that the reason why you're going to this place is because you are ready, and it's just your time, and that's where you are in life. So this week, appreciate your deep dive, manage your energy levels, make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to completely exhaust you or strip you of energy. And if it is going to completely exhaust you and strip you of energy, make sure that you are able to sleep at least within, the 15 minutes after that. Make sure you're able to take a nap or just do something to replenish and revitalize. I would definitely say too, meditation this week, at least this week, 5 times this week. At least 5 times, take 5 minutes to just sit in stillness. You don't have to sit in lotus pose. You can literally just sit in your chair and breathe. Take 5 minutes. You can put a timer if you need to, but take some time out to breathe, because this energy does feel quite intense for you. I do feel like it is being triggered by the new moon in Pisces, so please just take that time for yourself. You will really, really appreciate yourself for taking that time. You'll love it. You'll love it. I honestly feel like you'll love it. So let's get into your oracle cards for this week. Your chakra wisdom card for this week, the chakra that's being worked through with all this deep energy. Let's see. Oh, we have well-being. Exactly. So second chakra, sacral chakra with well-being. It makes sense with all this wand energy as well. I honor and respect my body by giving it what it deserves to thrive. I provide myself with the best of food, exercise, water, relaxation, therapeutic treatments, and thoughts. I only consume foods and liquids that were designed by nature to be in my body. I stimulate my body's energy flow with exercise. I make time to rest, as stillness and tranquility are vital to keep my mind and body rejuvenated. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. That literally exactly what I was saying. It's just so funny when they come through with that confirmation like that. I don't look, remember, I do not look at these cards. I am just as excited as you are when we get these, you know, these synchronicities. So it's always super, super fun for me too. So well-being, check with your well-being this week. Manage your energy. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. I cannot stress that enough for you, group one, this week, really, because you're just going into a deep dive and you're just going to need a lot of your energy to be in that space. And it's a super healthy, rejuvenating space for you. It's very sweet and delightful. It's really this Queen of Wands energy that's coming through over here, but she really wants to take you down and really help heal you and really help illuminate some like deeper, beautiful spaces within you. So your law of Ma'at this week that will help you get through all of this energy is I invoke laughter. I love it. I love this card. That's the second time I've seen this card, which is really funny. So honestly, that's what I'm saying too. We also had Be Playful with the bottom deck energy over here with our collective energy for the animal spirit oracle deck. So definitely what I'm saying, it's just an emphasis on making sure that you're managing your energy, making sure that you're taking care of your well-being. And all I have to say about that card is laughter is the best medicine. You know what I'm saying? Laughter is the best medicine. So take it easy on yourself. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So our Moonology card this week is actually going to represent the energy that's working with you this entire moon cycle. So let's see what that is starting up for you this week. We have a time to give rather than take with new moon in Virgo. Very, very interesting energy. And what I feel like that is saying is it's a time to give to yourself of yourself. So that's why I feel like you're diving into this energy. That's exactly why we have a new moon. So I love how you have new moon in Virgo with this being a new moon in Pisces. I honestly feel like with this Queen of Wands energy too is really interesting. I feel like you're doing a deeper dive with this energy, and there's a part of you that needs your awareness. There's a part of you that needs your attention. There's something that you're going down to give awareness to so that you can excavate. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's a time for you to go down and give your awareness to rather than taking something from, because you're going to get to that place of taking something from. But first of all, the first step is going down and finding that treasure, seeing what it is, bringing awareness to that space, and then after then you'll be able to use it as it needs to be used, through you, by you, for others. So I love that energy, how it's coming through. And then our animal spirit card from the actual animal oracle deck, not the animal medicine card. We already got that for you. This card is going to represent the animal spirit that is actually helping you through this moon cycle. So let's see what card that is. We have a rebirth is assured with the bat spirit. So not surprised to see that at all, especially with this deep dive that you're going through, what you're experiencing. It definitely has transformation written all over it, especially based on how charged it is. So that makes total sense. And that card represents this entire moon cycle. So this is from, the Pisces moon that we just had yesterday to our Libra full moon that we have coming up later on this month. So I love that energy for you. A rebirth is assured. I also feel like that is confirmation for anyone wondering, will this actually help me? Will this be beneficial to me? Will I actually learn something? Or is this one of those times where it's just really difficult and hard for no reason? I honestly feel like a rebirth is just in store for you this year. And I feel like you'll go through multiple stages and multiple levels of rebirthing, especially with the virgin energy over here too. Is really interesting. How these two came out to play with each other. But I honestly feel like this is just kind of like not even the start. It seems like you're just in the midst of transitioning, and this is just part of that transitioning. So you're going down, it seems like, to just revitalize something and giving it life. So, and you're going to be doing that quite a bit this year, I feel like, but this is just that reminder, that confirmation that it is doing something, it is worth something. So the advice from the ocean that we have for you this week to work with all this energy, which is interesting because the ocean is definitely where you are this week, we have gentle moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you're trying to accomplish. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I love that card so much. And I love how you have that. The gentle moderation is really just reminding you, because you seem like someone who's similar to me. You want to get to where you're going. You want to get there now. You want to get there fast. So you're like, okay, what do I need to heal? What do I need to work on? I will do anything that needs to be done so I can just get this over with. But I feel like this is just one of those times where you literally have slowing down as well. Take your time with this. It is not something that has to be rushed. Really, there is no necessarily there's always going to be a human sense of urgency because you have a limited amount of time in this one physical body. But really, your destiny and your higher self, your fate is dictating, everything. Everything is unfolding. Everything is in divine order. And you really are, believe it or not, you really are making the choices that are most aligned with source and with your highest possible outcome. So I feel like you're locked into a good space. You're locked into a very great place. But it's just for your understanding. This is just for your understanding of taking it slow. Take your time with this because you're going to get to where you're going. You see this energy, like this North Star energy right here. You're going to get to where you're going. You don't have to worry as much about that as you think you do, but just take your time with this so that you can integrate at a rate that seems more comfortable, because it seems like in the past you've been trying to integrate really fast and get things done really fast, and that has been a lot more painful and has taken away a lot more from you than what your human or your ego was really ready for at the time. So that's why in the past it felt a lot more painful, but it's like you needed that experience so that you could know that really the beauty of this is the actual process, which I hate saying that and I hate hearing it, but the beauty in this is actually the process itself. The purpose of your life is the process itself. So really take your time with this energy and be extremely gentle with yourself. Be forgiving of yourself, and you will come out on top, on the other side of this rebirth experience that you're having. So I don't think you have to worry about it as much as you think you do, because you feel like you have to have everything in place. I have to have this set up and that set up and this place aligned and that place aligned. But really what's happening is everything is aligning for you and you're aligning with it. So that's why you're going through all these transitional phases and going through all this rebirthing and this deep diving and this charged energy, because what you're doing is aligning with it. It honestly seems like whatever it is that you're manifesting, you're already aligned to it. Like it's already aligned to you. It's already in your path. But what spirit is doing is scooping you up and just pushing you in the path, because it seems like you do keep trying to go here and go there, go here and go there. This either or game that you're playing, and spirit is really just trying to center you right in the middle so that you can go forward. So that's what's happening, if you were wondering at all. So it's really funny what's happening. So our last card for you today, group 1, is your Cosmic Dancer card. So this is to help you get your energy moving. If at all this week you feel stuck, you feel stagnant, this is the card that will help you. Yes, group 1. You have make mistakes. Absolutely. I love this so much. If you want to move your energy this week, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't try to play, but be careful when you try to play this game of either or. It seems like you have a very, very strong sense. This is probably my pod, which is funny, but it seems like you have a very, very strong sense of playing this either or game. Either or, I have to choose this or I have to choose that, and whatever I don't choose crumbles and I'll never get that chance again, which is wrong. Everything is just aligned for you, including your failures, including your mistakes. And it just depends on which one do you want to experience and which one don't you want to experience, If you didn't make a mistake over here, you're probably going to make one over there. So this is really saying don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to get it wrong, because what you think is wrong is actually not necessarily wrong on the broader spectrum of things. It's really just an absorption and learning experience. There was some point in time where someone had to touch fire to know that fire burned and fire could cause harm and injuries. You see what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to make mistakes. So if your energy is feeling a little stagnant this week for you, group 1, I honestly would say do something that you feel is a mistake. So procrastinate. procrastinate, push something off, like dudes, like you're supposed to call this person, don't call them, like just get your energy moving, like do something basically do something guilt-free is what I'm hearing too. Do something guilt-free. You might have this homework you need to finish, but how about you take a nap instead and see how everything still at the end of the day is going to be fine and is going to work itself out as it always does. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this too is like getting you out of your comfort zone a little bit and getting you like loosening your grip, especially you're in water. There's not much you really can grip. You're in the ocean this week, group 1. So this is really too about loosening your grip and like loosening up your control, the control that you think that you have to have over the linear or over the 3D realm, because really what's happening is everything is being beautifully aligned for you. It's already in your path. It's literally already in your way. Whatever it needs to be there is already in your way. It's just you lining up with it and going down that path and running into it. So yeah, deep dive energy this week. Really working on this overexhaustion energy too, and moving some of those like old layers of overworking out too, because that stuff is just not healthy for any human being. You're not a robot. You're not meant to wear your trauma and your hard work as a badge, as if you're better than someone else just because you want to work 16 hours a week. That is not the way. So we're really reframing this energy and what it means to manage your energy and your time, because I feel like you are naturally doing a lot of energy work, whether you know it or not. And I feel like you're getting to a point right now to where you're really having to understand and learn how to manage your energy and what that actually means for you. Even if you're not a person who's really deep into the metaphysical or the spiritual, you still have to manage your energy. Managing your energy includes your diet, your well-being. Exactly, your well-being. You already know. You're only here for confirmation. So that's enough for me, group 1. That wraps up your reading. I really hope you enjoyed it. As always, if it did not resonate, that's okay. Just take what it did and the rest will fall away. You're not at all obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So again, I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you next time, group 1. Bye. Group two, for all of our friends who chose the cute little opalite for your reading this week, these messages are all for you. My mouth always gets like oddly stuck at certain places. So let's move your power animal card right here. Oracle messages to the side. We'll dive into those a little bit later, and let's see what energy you have working with you this week. You have the antelope. Really cool. Okay. Antelope energy. Ooh. That's so funny. There's this card coming through, and I don't have this deck. It's just a channeler that I work with. She actually uses this deck. It's a deck that I want to get. But there's a card in the deck called Accelerated Motion, and that's what I see with the antelope energy, which is funny because antelope energy does talk about a lot about speeding up. Like in one of the other decks that I have, the antelope represents life is speeding up and stuff like that. And I feel that energy very like... deeply. It's funny because it seems like you're completely clueless to what is happening. You're completely clueless to what is happening, and you're so focused on everything that's not happening, you don't see all the things that are happening. So I feel like this week you're going to be hit with some levels of clarity of things that were happening behind the scenes. You were like, oh, and I feel like things might start to pop up in your awareness, or like pop up in your alignment, like unexpectedly, or like in a weird sense of a way. You're like, oh, I didn't, like, even if it's something as small as, oh, I didn't think about it that way, or I didn't think that was an option. This feels like an energy of I didn't think. Like, so there's this clueless energy, almost like this unpredictable type energy with antelope that is coming through. And I keep hearing the antelope saying it's because you didn't think. And this doesn't feel negative. It feels like more of an impossible type thing. It's like you thought that you thought about all the options, or that you exhausted all of your options, but that is simply not the case. It's because you didn't think. It's because you thought, but you didn't think. Like, that is exactly what they're saying. What the heck are you guys doing? You thought what you thought, but you didn't think. Like, okay. That's so funny. But yeah, I feel like this week there's just some unpredictable stuff I feel like that's happening. Like there's this unpredictable nature to this energy that's coming through, and I can't even pinpoint it. It's so fast. It's very fast moving, like literally accelerated motion, and it just feels unpredictable. Like I can't even pull. It feels very scattered, and I can't like pull it together and like pull a lot of energy out of it. Hold on. It's because you thought what you thought and you didn't think. There's this unpredictable energy headed your way, and this is what you think of as a storm, but it is not a storm as you know it. This is a shaking of sorts, or not even a shaking, but like a courting. That's what it sounds like. There is an element of like actual court, like actual court, or like some type of like justice system type energy, but it feels more like a confirmation or some type of like serenading from the universe. It's really funny. Even if there's just like, I see somebody like just sitting in a chair and like enjoying a really nice breeze during a time in which they didn't think that they would be able to enjoy a really nice breeze. It's really funny. It feels like a very fast-paced, unpredictable style energy. Make sure you take time to rest and contemplate, like kind of like rest a little bit and sift through this energy. Make sure that it's something that is part of your day, part of your plate, because this energy feels very fast paced, very fast moving, and like it's just like it feels like things are, whatever's getting in your way this week, it feels like it's supposed to get in your way. Like something is supposed to get up close and personal, but it feels very unpredictable. Like it's something that you're not predicting. So I feel like group 2 is, there's something that you've been predicting to happen, or you've been wanting to happen, or something like that. Something that you've been predicting. It's something about predicting. Something that you've been predicting that you thought was going to happen a certain way, and it's not happening in the way that you thought, because the energy wanted to surprise you. So there's a way that it's happening that you didn't think. Like, the funny thing is, let me just say this: whatever you're predicting, you're right. Whatever it is, I will tell you right now with 100% certainty that you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Whatever it is that you've been predicting. So I'm seeing too, like, go back and look in your journals and see what you written down. What have you been manifesting? What have you been predicting? What is it that you've been predicting? What is it that you've been forecasting? Is it a move? Is it a job transition? Is it a relationship? Is it some type of opportunity? Is it some type of like flow? Is it a certain type of energy coming into your life? What is it that you've been predicting? Go back and look in your journal. Go back and look, because it seems like whatever you've been predicting, it's like, this feels less like manifestation and more like prediction, like almost like a Nostradamus type energy, where it's like there's something that you know is happening, and you know what's happening, but you haven't seen it. So since you haven't seen it, you're like, oh, it's not meant to happen, because all the ways that you saw that it had the space or the opportunity to happen in, it didn't happen. So now I feel like this thing, whatever you've been predicting, is coming through you either this week or like whenever the energy feels right. But I feel like you'll feel this energy, this unpredictable energy, like you'll feel it in your chest this week. You'll feel it in your chest. I promise you'll feel this energy. something, whatever it is you're predicting, it is here. It is on its way. It is about to like slap you. And I don't even mean that in a negative way, but it seems like it actually feels like something beautiful that you've been predicting. It feels like something so right and so aligned, like something that you need that you've been predicting. But it seems like it didn't happen in the way that you wanted it to happen, but it was because the universe wanted to surprise you and make it like more like spontaneous and magical. So there's some type of blind spot, something that you didn't think, and that's the way it's going to be happening. So it's like expect the unexpected type energy. But it's like you are somebody who is expecting the unexpected to expect it. You know, it's like these little rabbit, like little jumpy, like it's like that's happening. And it's funny because we have the antelope out here, who's an incredible jumper, but it's like this jumpy like energy, like ooh, like ah, you know, like ooh ah. That's what it feels like fireworks or something. Like just really, really spontaneous. I need tarot for this. I need tarot to describe some of this energy, because it's like it's unpredictable, so it won't stand still. It won't stay in one like certain spot. Is really, really interesting. All right, so let's see. Ooh, these cards are so charged for you. Oh wow, look at what we have. Fly out in reverse. Patience. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Love those colors on her too. I'll show it like upright as well. What else? What is going on for group 2 this week? This is crazy. Oh, we have the Ace of Cups with going with the flow. Actually, let me show you Patience in reverse, because I feel like there's something in here, like an energy or some type of telltale sign that someone needs to see in this card. Ooh, the Empress speaking at me. She actually wants to come out. So you have the Empress, and I'm actually going to shuffle for another card. She was just like, if you do not take me. And then we have, look at that, the Fool. Just fly out on the floor. That's like your second card to fly on the floor. And then we have bottom deck, Ten of Swords with Rebirth. Yep. So you literally have rebirth with the Fool energy as well. So it's really, really interesting. The Empress really, really wanted to come out because she's like literally saying like, this is part of what you've been creating. This is part of your creativity, but it doesn't feel like manifesting. It feels like something that you've been predicting. So even if it's like you've been predicting your own power, your own abilities, whatever it is, it seems like it's going to come out this week. Like something is going to come out, some type of light shedding, some type of newness, some type of like clarity or understanding, but it's going to happen in a way that like, it's going to happen in a way, or it not even is going to happen. It's happening in a way that like you weren't predicting. Like you were predicting the something, but, or like a specific event or happening or energy, but you weren't predicting the unfoldment of such. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you weren't predicting how it could happen, and it seems like you literally tried to like go through your brain and exhaust all options. Or like, oh, it could happen this way, or it could happen that way, but there seems like there is a blind spot that you're not seeing. There's a blind spot that you're not seeing. It's really, 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 really interesting. So honestly, I feel like the overall with the overall frequency of this reading for you this week being a rebirth, I honestly feel like you are going to be more than happy with this energy, even if the energy feels devastating, and it doesn't feel necessarily emotionally. It feels more so like a confirmation of something huge, or a confirmation of something like, whoa, like I didn't really expect it to be that. Like maybe I wanted it to be that, but did I expect it? You know, no. So I honestly feel like going with the flow is like huge for you this week. Like really, really go with the spontaneity. Really, 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 I say go with the spontaneity because you have the full energy out here, and I feel like there's just opportunity. I honestly feel that. And I honestly feel like the Patience card is in reverse because I feel like you've been patient long enough and you're ready to give birth. So you literally have this imagery here of this pregnant woman. You also have the Empress here as well, and you also have this child being born of a lion. And I don't know like exactly if this imagery like relates to something in like the, you know, some type of like ancient teaching or something like that, but I honestly feel like this is the child being reborn of conditioning, which is interesting because I recently had another reading that I did with this card, this exact same card coming out with a similar energy. And I'll be uploading that reading this week, but it's just really interesting to see it. You're like being reborn of some form of conditioning, and this feels like a very self-imposed conditioning. Like you've been trying to tell yourself that things have to happen in this exact way. If they don't happen in this exact way, then that means that they won't happen. And I feel like this is more of an energy of you just believing in the impossible and being patient with the energy, being patient with the energy. Being patient with the energy, because it's really unpredictable, because there's something here that spirit, that the universe, that your spiritual team is trying to prove to you. And it's so funny because it seems like you're constantly trying to prove stuff to yourself, trying to prove stuff to them, trying to prove stuff to your family and friends. You know, you're constantly trying to awe and amaze and enlighten and like bring smiles to other people's faces with like the things that you know and your wisdom and your magic and the things that you do. But it feels like the universe wants to return that energy to you. So the universe is literally saying like, stop thinking, like stop overthinking, like stop thinking about this so much so that we can amaze you, you know, like just watch the magic unfold, watch the magic happen. But it feels like there is this energy, and it could be, you know, energy for just a couple of people out here. Just, it feels like there's energy of like it feeling very devastating for you, like devastating. And it feels devastating in a way to where it's going to completely rip you from an old level of identity. And what happens when you completely are ripped from an old level of identity, and that's exactly what you see happening over here with this card. And I'm traveling and letting go over there too, just showing themselves, which is really funny. But we have what you see happening with this card is this child like being like born of this line, and it seems more so like the line being ripped from the child. It seems like it's happening in a weird sense of a way. Really interesting energy. It just feels like it'll be devastating because there's just a lot of things that you won't be allowed to believe anymore. And a lot of these things made up who you thought you were, and it made up your identity, like who you thought you are. Like the person that you've been striving to become and be, it seems like it may be devastating to that part of your ego. Like it's going to completely crush a certain level or a certain sense of your identity that you didn't expect to be crushed. You're like, oh, I'm just going to live the rest of my life like this. You know? Like you were pretending to be like this helpless like antelope, like I can't do a thing, you know, this is just the way life is, this is just the way life is going to be. And it's just not the case. Something that you're predicting is coming true, and that's going to force you to trust in you. Something that you're predicting is coming true, and that's going to force you to trust in you. So go with the flow of this. Be the fool. Honestly. It's like whatever you're creating, you're creating it for you. You know, whatever you've been predicting to, it's literally for you. Whatever this thing is that's being born is for you, of you. A definite rebirth, which is funny because this is, you know, the second pile that has the same level of energy. It's very intense. It's very charged. It's a very charged, spontaneous, big energy. Whatever is happening is going to force you to trust in you. It's going to force you to trust in yourself. And I love this moon energy too that's coming through on these cards. Like this moon cycle energy. Go with the flow. Honestly, the best recommendation I have for you this week, really group 2, is to go with the flow of this. Go with the flow of this, honestly. Honestly, be playful, have fun. Make sure when you're looking in the mirror at yourself, this is going back to some of the collective messages too, but just kind of when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, just be kind. You know, don't let pride get in your way. Just kind of those energies that we talked about in the collective message. If you didn't sit through the collective message, I'm sorry that they're like long-winded, but I honestly, group 2 would recommend going to sit with the collective message for you. I feel like there are different answers for different people in there for you, honestly. Because I feel like this energy, it literally, the base thing that my guys keep saying over and over again is something you predicted or have been predicting is coming true with this antelope energy. It's almost like an antelope, an antelope, like kind of like always on guard for something to happen, right? Because while they're prey. So while they're eating and they're feasting, there could be that lion back there that's just watching and waiting its turn. You know what I'm saying? So they're always on guard, always predicting. I feel like that has been you. Always on guard, always predicting, always trying to see when this thing is going to happen. And I feel like now it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and this is going to force you to trust in you in a way that you've never had to trust in yourself before, and this is going to like skyrocket you into just like this new level of existence and play and life, because you're just going to have to sit with and trust the level of magic that you work with in this life. And you're going to have to do something with it. And this feels very scary and this feels very large, but it feels very you. It feels like very you, like what it's supposed to be. So it's really cool. I love that energy. So let's get into your oracle cards. Because it seems like this week you're just really dealing with a lot of spontaneity. So let's get you some advice for this energy and what's going on. So your chakra wisdom card, so the chakra that's being worked on with all this spontaneous energy this week is willpower and determination with the 5th chakra. See, I see there's definitely energy in the collective message for all of you, which the collective energy for this week with the chakra wisdom cards was also the 5th chakra. So that makes total sense. So we have willpower and determination. Let me read this. I set clear boundaries for my own behavior, and I cultivate a strong will by being true to myself. I use my willpower to accomplish my daily tasks and spiritual goals, and to encourage uplifting thoughts and behaviors in myself. Doing this will assist me on the next stage of my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual growth. I stay in touch with my positive thoughts and truth by avoiding substance abuse. My will is strong and my mind is clear. See, I know there's like some mental energy going on here with you. Group 2 is like really strong. And I also love too how I'm like, this, whatever this experience is going to skyrocket you into a new stage, to a new level. And then you have this, doing this will assist me on the next stage of my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual growth. So I feel like this is all about you owning who you are, owning your habits, owning your behaviors, owning who you are as a whole person. And what that means is trusting who you are authentically, trusting who you are as a whole person, staying in touch with who you are. That is the energy. And I feel like it's 5th chakra energy because that means to express that, to express that energy. Beautiful. So the law of Ma'at that you have coming in this week, so the law that'll help you work with all this spontaneous energy they got going is, I am trustful in my relationships. That's a really interesting energy to come out, or to come through, really. And I love like that triangle energy too that's like coming through. It just reminds me of me and my friends, so it's really cool. But I honestly feel like that has to do with whatever it is that you're predicting. I feel like only you will truly know like this answer. Like there's like really a level of interpretation that I'm going to leave that up to, but I feel honestly like it has something to do with what you're predicting. And I love how too it says I am trustful in my relationships, and we're talking about trust of you, trust in yourself. So I feel like that is something that you need to know too. And when it comes to other people, it's that inner knowing that's going to get you to where you're going. That inner knowing is going to get you to where you're going. I don't know why I wanted to cut these cards, but we have the Ace of Wands coming out with the Source, so it's really interesting. It's in the colors too, but I felt very called. So honestly, I feel like you are really extremely aligned with Source right now, which you always have been, but I feel like you're diving really deep into that level of clarity. and that level of intensity and what it means to be a human being that is operating at that level of that allowance and that knowing. And I love how too, like the points of this triangle is on her third eye, and then her crown. You know, that means something. It's like that connection to spirit. This is why I was like, you really like tap into that collective energy, and not mass consciousness, but collective consciousness, spirit energy. Like what makes it all tick, you know, the ticking of it all, the human existence, the wisdom behind being a human being. It's really beautiful energy. I am trustful in my relationships. Interesting. I honestly feel like that has to do with whatever you're predicting. So we have our Moonology card, and the Moonology card will represent how this energy is working in your life currently with our new moon in Pisces and our new moon that happens later this month in Libra. So let's see what energy we have there. Ooh, we have nothing will come of this situation. I love that. So I honestly feel like what this card is saying is, because immediately when I flip it over, I felt like someone was like resistant, like extremely resistant. Like, I can't do this energy. I feel like what this energy is saying is nothing will come of this resistance, or this resistance to this energy. Like, your resistance is futile. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it's saying, oh, whatever you're predicting, like nothing's going to happen with this. It seems primarily, strongly, and strangely like this level of resistance, or what it is that you're resisting, this resistance is futile, and it has been futile. Because whatever it is that you're creating, you're co-creating, and you're co-creating with spirit. It's not just you, and your will is not higher than the will of spirit, of the collective movement, of the collective energy, and what needs to happen and what needs to be brought out of you to further that advancement and that evolution. So it honestly feels, and then my eyes were like drawn to the word clear on the throat chakra word here. Just the last word is just clear. Like my eyes like beaming, like woo, like literally pulled into it. Clear. Because like you see that clearly now. That like nothing, like anything that is in your way is part of your way. So anything, your resistance is part of the way. Your fighting is part of the way. So it's like your resistance is futile. Whatever it is you're doing that you think is going to keep you numb or keep you avoidant, it's not working in the way that you want it to work. It is doing nothing but pulling you closer and closer and closer to where you need to be. And it doesn't matter if you go kicking and screaming or, you know, jolly and jumping, you're going. This is like, you know, a parent bringing a toddler home. You have the full energy, crazy full energy coming through this pile too. You have the full energy. So it's like whatever you're resisting, you know, keep resisting if you want. But you're just making it a little more difficult for yourself. But your spiritual team is just like, we'll wait for you. We'll do whatever we can. We love you. We're not leaving you behind. You're crazy. You're crazy to think that you're unworthy. You're crazy to think that you're undeserving. You're crazy to think that whatever it is that you have in your body that's wanting to come through and that you're going to accomplish, you're crazy to think that you're not capable of delivering that to humanity. You're crazy. It's a very beautiful energy. So we also have the animal spirit that's working with you through this moon cycle to help you with this void of course moon energy. We have embraced the in-between with flamingo spirit. I love that. And I love how you have also this in-between energy here with the I am trustful in my relationships card. I really, really like that pairing, especially with this void of course moon, because it's like this transitional period, this transitional phase, this phase that you're in of resisting, of this unpredictable thing that you're predicting. And it seems like you're in that waiting period, almost like watching the magician like set up for their grand act or something like that. And it's like, find a space to actually embrace that besides resisting, even though you're going to get there regardless. You're going to get there if you're resisting, you're going to get there if you're not. And it's all part of your journey, because you're learning, what do I resist, what don't I resist, what is unpleasant, what is pleasant, you know what I'm saying? But this is the energy too of when you embrace the in-between, between, you can find joy in all things. That is exactly what's coming through. When you embrace the in-between, your transitional periods, your transitional phases, the phases in which you're building, the phases in which you're setting boundaries, the phases in which you're saying no and yes and no and yes, and you're learning, you will have such a deeper, sweeter, more a riper fruit to bite into once you tap into the fullness of the full energy. It's really beautiful how it's coming through, group 2, honestly. And then we have the Whispers of the Ocean card. So some advice from the ocean for you for this week. We have the gift of neutrality. Balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. I love that. I love this energy so much. So honestly, I feel like this is too about you just balancing this energy, really striking a balance between I know what I know and I know what I don't know, but I'm going to trust what I don't know because I know that this earth is not designed to fail me. Like this journey. The reason why I know that too is because you have the rebirth energy. You also have creativity out here with the Empress card. This journey or whatever this is not designed to fail you. It's not designed to get in your way. It's not designed to get in your way, but it's designed to get in your way so that it can be on your path, so that you may absorb it, so that you may take care of it. And I really love too this card because it has that like firework energy that I was picking up on earlier, and it also has the same coloration of this card here and the source card that we saw, the Ace of Wands that was in reverse. So honestly, I'm feeling take time with yourself, but also whatever you're predicting is it's unfolding. There's something coming true, but this is so that you can have more trust in you. And I honestly feel like this deeper sense of trust in yourself as well is going to lead toward this balance, towards this neutrality that you've actually been really seeking. So this is really beautiful energy. This is a level of balance and certainty that you have been seeking. And it seems like just the answers that you need are coming. So the Cosmic Dancer card, which will be your last card for this reading for this week, will represent the card to help get your energy moving. So you have find your motivation. I love that. So find your motivation also could be translated into find your passion, find what's your gift, what's your path, what is it in the world that you actually enjoy, what is it in the world that you actually want to do. Also, you can always look at too, what is it in the world that drives you, what is it in the world that sparks you, frustrates you, anger you, what is it about the world that you yourself want to change and you know that you are comfortable of changing. I honestly say if you are feeling a little stuck or stagnant in this very spontaneous, very fast-paced energy that might be entering your life this week, group 2, tap into something that motivates you, tap into something that inspires you, really tap into something that can wake you up. So I feel like it'll be very beneficial to you this week. I also love this moon energy. I feel like the moon cycles, especially this one, are going to be super beneficial to you. So tap into them and use them the best way that you can, because I feel like you're just at this point in your life where you are at the advantage. You have the advantage right now. So this is really good energy, group 2. So that is enough from me today. That is all I have for you. As always, if it did not resonate, go ahead and drop what didn't, take what did. You are not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours, my friend, So I hope that you really enjoyed this, and I really hope this energy isn't too fast and too crazy. It really is coming through to help balance you out and to offer you an actual gift of trusting of yourself and bringing more pleasure and joy into your life. This is really making life easy. So I really hope that you can hone in on that energy. So I hope so much to see you next time, group 2. Bye. Hello, group 3. For all of our friends who chose the Pyrite chunk, this will be your reading for today. So this is just a week ahead energy check-in with your power animal messages and oracle cards. And we have a lot of cards this week because I feel like the new moon energy kind of resets some things. So we are diving into that this week. So let's see what power animal we have coming in this week to help you out. So we have Bat. So that is the second time Bat has come through. So I honestly feel like his energy is doing a lot of resetting. So let's dive into this. Let's see what we have going on for you this week. Okay, group 3. It seems like you are resetting what you believe is possible. So this has a different frequency than one of the other readings, but there was something else. There's another reading that was like this too, but this feels different. You're resetting your energy. You're rebalancing your energy. Yeah, so it's a very similar frequency. But this feels more, I don't know why I want to say the word stoic. But this feels more like, like you know way more than you pretend you're thinking. I'm not sure why it's coming out like that, but that's what it's saying. Like, you know more than what you pretend that you think, or what you pretend that you're thinking. Like, you know. So it seems like this energy is resetting. There's an energy that's being reset, or an energy that's resetting, so that you can like fully know what you're thinking. It's really, really interesting what's happening. So I feel like this is like a rebirth situation for you, but it's like a more like a mental and emotional resetting that's happening. There's some type of resetting that's happening for you, group 3. There's some type of like settings inside of you that just need to be reset to default, so that you can readjust. Because what's happening is this energy is trying to bring you to the right frequency. This energy is trying to bring you to the right frequency. So I feel like this week you're going to have some experiences that kind of like jolt you, or like maybe kind of readjust you a little bit, so that you can just get on the right frequency. Because it feels like there's some type of like frequency exchange or frequency shift or change that is undergoing or just underway, so that you can get to where you're going. There's like a redirection. There it is. I'm being like, it's so funny. They're like showing me cards in my awareness now. And I've been seeing cards in my awareness now for a long time, but I haven't like been trusting them the way I'm trusting it right now. And they're showing me Coyote, Trust in Divine Detours. So there's a resetting. You're resetting this weekend with this new moon, which is really cool, interesting. It was really interesting because you have, the new moon we just had yesterday. So I honestly feel like this week you're just resetting your energy. There's just some stuff that has to be restored to factory settings, factory like default settings, so that you can have a better understanding moving forward of some stuff, because there's just some beliefs and some stuff that just feels a little more stuck. And there are just some things or some events, some situations that need to happen so that you get returned to default settings, so that you can just live life a little more authentically, so that you're not so much taking on other people's personalities, you're not so much taking on other people's ideas or even like gifts or way of speaking, and more so just like diving into who you are, like more so diving into what you think and how the energy and how just magic and everything moves through your own body, like how it's prepared through your own vessel. So it feels like a resetting, and I feel like this is something that for some you can go really unnoticed and it can be really unconscious, but for some of you I feel like it will be very conscious, and you'll notice this shift, you'll know this change in a very large way, and it may feel a little demeaning or it may feel a little defeating, like you feel like, oh, like like was I not good enough? But it's like not that, it's not that at all. It's more like this chameleon energy that you have. It's like being reset, so that you can go back to your own like beautiful colors, so that you can go back to your own self, so that you can find home and feel safe within your own self. So this is definitely a rebirthing energy. So this is all three of the powers have rebirth energy coming out. So this is definitely a rebirthing energy that's happening for you so that you can find your own self. Because I feel like you've been in this period of gathering. Oh, we have exhaustion flipping out again. That's the second time this card has come out. So you've been in this situation of gathering, and it seems like your energy has been really scattered. Oh, look at that. We have the Knight of Swords of fighting coming out. Yeah, you've definitely been recently in situations where you've been trying to like fight for who you are and know who you are. So there's definitely been some like internal fighting that has led to a lot of exhaustion. So it seems like you've been scattered and you've been gathering and you've been trying to like get answers from other people or outside of you, or like, oh, other people do it this way, so maybe that's the way, or this person is saying it that way, so maybe that's the way, or like maybe people like them more because of their grammar or something like that. Like it's definitely all kinds of like little things like that, and it's almost like little mannerisms and stuff that you picked up from other people, which is fine. We do that all the time, like slang and stuff that we share, mannerisms. But I feel like there's just some stuff that's returning to default factory settings so that you can put your own like flavor into it, because it seems like they're just in spaces inside of you. There are other people's flavors, and I feel like it tastes okay and it tastes good, but I feel like what you're doing is trying to like find like your own flavoring. You're finding your own flavoring this week, I honestly feel like. Ooh. Yeah, I just feel like seems like you've just been really scattered and almost like really sad, because it seems like you are like trying to live you're trying to live authentically, but you can't like find the way. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you have a lot of cards coming out. So bottom deck, we have the Five of Wands in reverse with totality, which makes a lot of sense, especially based on what we're saying here. And then you had trust fly out, which is the Knight of Cups. And then we have integration with temperance. And then we also had the Knight of Wands in reverse with intensity fly out as well. So I honestly feel like out of all the piles, you're the one who feels more like you're discharging. While all the other piles feel like they're charging up, you feel like you're more so like discharging other people's energy, discharging like electricity. I feel like this is going to be difficult for you, mainly because we have trust in reverse, and I feel like it's going to be difficult because it's going to force you in a position to trust yourself. And it's going to force you into a position to know that you are yourself, and like not even question when you are or aren't, like, because it feels like you'll know in your inner knowing, your inner being, like, oh yeah, this is me. Yeah, it's like you're integrating, you're discharging. That's exactly what's happening with the intensity in reverse as well. I feel like this internal fighting that you've been going through, especially since you've been internally fighting with trust, especially trust of self. I feel like trust of self is a portion of you that has really been stretched, and it really, really has been really exhausting. And you keep waiting on this rebirthing experience, like, okay, when is my rebirth? When is my rebirth? When am I going to be reborn? When is it my turn? But honestly, I feel like you've already been reborn. You've already gathered what you needed to gather from other people's energy, like other people being part of your puzzle the same way you are for other people. And it feels like what you're doing this week is you're discharging from all the energy that does not serve you. So you're taking and integrating into your own being what is of you, what serves you, like the soul fragments that you gathered from other people who are just mirror aspects of you, and you're putting it into their place, and you're allowing them to operate and do what they need to do inside of your own being, and discharging the rest. Because I feel like there's some stuff that you hold on to mainly because of like some type of like mannerism, some type of way of speaking, some type of way of doing something, because you feel like that makes you cooler, or you feel like that makes you like more likable or something like that, because you're like, if I'm like that person, then that makes me more likable. People like me more. People pay more attention to me. And it feels like that's simply not the case. People want you as you are. People want to receive you as you are. And let me tell you that there is an audience that wants to receive you as you are. So you don't really have to be anybody else. And I honestly feel like we have totality here in reverse is because we have 5 of Wands totality here in reverse, because what you're doing this week is mostly looking at the parts of your whole, and you're discharging different aspects of self. So different aspects of self that have other people's energy attached to it that just don't need to be there. You're just dispelling and discharging that energy. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're doing that so that that energy can go to where it needs to go, so that it can be refined and return to you or the person that it needs to return to in its highest form. So it had to go through you for its alchemy. It was a part of your process, a part of your pieces. But what you're doing is refining it, and you're really cleaning it up and sending it out, sending it back. So that's what's happening. So you've been going through a lot of internal fighting, trying to find justice for your own self, or balancing, or really trying to understand who you are authentically as a person. And now you're finally at this stage, I feel like, of integration. You're not undergoing really a rebirthing energy. So this might contradict something that I said before, but I feel the energy shifting. You're not undergoing a rebirth at all. You've already undergone the rebirth, and you're waiting on a rebirthing experience, and you've already done it. This is all right now about integration and dispelling old energy. So right now, I feel like honestly this week you're just kind of looking at all the little pieces of your whole, and you're just discharging where it doesn't feel like it is of you, or where it feels like it's just not working, or it's not beneficial. So this is even if you go to school, if you're learning something and you're this piece is true, I resonate with this piece, but this piece over here, I do not resonate with this. This is not true. I do not trust this. This does not feel good to me. Then you dispel that energy that doesn't feel good, but you hold and integrate the part that does. And this doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you're spiritually bypassing or not taking care of things that need to be taken care of, or that you're avoiding deep emotion. That's not what's happening, because I can tell with this rebirthing experience, you've done a lot of integrating when it comes to the harder things and more challenging things. But this is say, let me think of an example. Say you and a person are arguing about something, right? And you're arguing about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you are someone who likes peanut butter and bananas, and they like peanut butter and jelly, and you both agree hey, peanut butter sandwiches, are great. I like peanut butter in sandwiches, but the other person's well, I like peanut butter and jelly. And you're well, I like peanut butter and bananas. But it's okay that you like peanut butter and jelly. It's okay that we're different. It's okay that you like those things, but I don't have to like those things in order for us to be friends. I don't have to like that thing in order for us to be, and I don't have to like peanut butter and jelly in order for us to be friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to carry that love for peanut butter and jelly just because you carry that love for peanut butter and jelly. This is about allowing other people to have their own opinions and their own take responsibility for their own selves. But I feel what you're dispelling and what you're discharging is this internal fight that you have, where you want to carry the responsibility. You got exhaustion over there, where you want to carry the responsibility for other people, and you just have to trust that you can do so. Because I feel the reason why trust is in reverse is because you're not trusting. I feel this integration process is for you to trust, because you're integrating a lot. You're undergoing a deep integration process. It's really good. It's really fulfilling, but there's a lot of fighting. I hear a lot of internal fighting. There's a lot of well, what about this? What about the peanut butter and jelly? Maybe they are right. Maybe peanut butter and jelly is better than peanut butter and bananas. Maybe I just haven't given it enough try. What's wrong with my taste buds? Maybe my taste buds are just different. What if their taste buds are healthier than mine? Honestly, that's the type of stuff that I'm hearing right now. So it's like really just going through this week and like discharging and dispelling this energy. Like other people can have their opinions, they can have their likes and their dislikes, but you don't have to place those same limitations on yourself, especially when it causes this level of exhaustion and internal fighting. It's all part of the process and you're learning. However, you're wrapping up this phase of this internal fighting and you're moving into wholeness. This is exactly why we have totality, because right now it's inside and you're breaking up all the holes so that you can look at the parts. But the purpose of this is so that you can clean the parts. You know how you take something apart, clean it, and put it back together. That's what you're doing, because you've already gone through the rebirthing. You're not really bringing anything new. You're just integrating all the experiences that you've had through this rebirthing process. It's really cool energy. So let's get into your oracle cards, group 3, because your tarot is really straightforward. So let's see what you have going on this week. Let's get into your chakra wisdom first to see with what are you integrating. What chakra is responsible for this? So we have, of course, I knew it was solar plexus. I knew it. So we have personal power. I choose to be myself and to express my truth. I have a positive influence on the people and the situations around me. I allow my integrity and confidence to shine, which instills more confidence and belief in myself and then encourages others to have natural confidence in me. I do not allow my personal power to become egotistical, manipulative, or exploitive. Exactly. This is you just integrating and tapping into your personal power, really. This is you reclaiming your power. This is a reclamation of power. So your law of Ma'at for you this week is I care for the earth. I love that energy. I really, really like that energy, especially when we're talking about, taking care of the parts of a whole. Especially when we're talking about taking care of parts of the whole. I honestly feel like that's what that energy is. And also recognizing too that you are part of the earth and you are taking care of yourself is taking care of the earth as well. But also this could be too just simply like making sure that you if you're someone who wants to recycle, if you're composting, doing little things like that makes you happy. If you're conserving water, whatever it is, even though the responsibility shouldn't be on everyday people and it should be on these big businesses but these big corporate giants who are just completely tainting everything. If that's something that you feel like you feel drawn to do, I honestly feel like do what you feel intuitively. But honestly, I feel like this is also more so a message of taking care of your own self, taking care of who you are authentically, caring for the piece of the earth that is you. So the Moonology card that we have for you this week, and this Moonology card is going to talk a lot about the energy that you have during this current moon cycle. So let's see what energy we have for you this week. We have faith in your dreams with waxing crescent moon. I love that energy. Have faith in your dreams. Absolutely. Like trust, like the word trust is like shouting at me. Like, will you just do it? Will you just do it? Will you just trust and have faith in your dreams? So I feel like that's really straightforward. Really, honestly, this cycle is really teaching you how to have faith in your dreams. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful energy. And then for your animal spirit cards, they actually want to come out and they're actually going to represent the support that they're bringing you through this current moon cycle that we have going from the new moon to the full moon. So for group 3, we have nothing is wasted with vulture spirit. Beautiful energy. And this is just a reminder that this is that refinement energy of even the parts of you that you feel like you're dispelling, that you're getting rid of, that you're discharging, they're going somewhere else to be refined, because energy is only created. It can only be refined, recreated, reborn, revitalized in some way. It can never fully ever be destroyed or taken away. It's just always it's in constant filtration, So remember that, like, even the parts of you that you feel like you're releasing or giving away, they will go to where they need to go and be refined and return to you in the way that they need to be experienced through you. Or experienced through others. And then your advice from the ocean this week is let your personality shine with you have something no one else has that makes you who you are. Stop comparing yourself to others and allow your uniqueness to shine through. So that's exactly what we were saying. Like, make sure, not make sure, it's what you're already doing, really. And I love how the color scheme as well. But it's like you're already doing this. You're integrating and you're becoming the person that you already know yourself to be. You're becoming the person you already know yourself to be. You're allowing you're allowing yourself to be your own person. You're allowing yourself to live authentically. This is a reclamation of power. This is a reclamation of power. So it makes total sense to me, So this is really cool. This is really cool energy. You don't have to be like everybody else to get to where you're going. Actually, being like everybody else, from here on out, is not going to get you to where you're going, because you're shifting, you're changing, and it's going to happen. Like, it's not something that you have to worry about. It just is part of your evolution. And then your Cosmic Dancer, this card I pulled in order to give you a little way to practice moving your energy this week. Like, if you ever feel stuck or stagnant at all, this will help you get moving. So we have take the lead. I love that. With personal power, oh, excuse me, and integrating, this is all about too, like, taking responsibility for your own self and who you are as a person. So if at all this week you feel like you're being stuck, it's probably because you're probably getting stuck in a place where you fear taking responsibility or being your whole true self, or being who you are authentically, or allowing your personality to actually shine. So I feel like taking the lead is basically saying, if you feel at all stuck, if you feel at all like you can't move, or you feel like you're suffocating, do something authentically. Do something. Take the initiative to do something. Get your body moving. Talk. Start up a conversation. Break the ice. Take the lead. Don't let pride get in your way. Take the lead, my friend. So just do something to kind of like get you out of your comfort zone a little bit, break you out of your shell, because I feel like that will be the energy that'll help get you moving this week. So that is enough of me, group 3. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you did not, that is absolutely okay. If it didn't resonate, that's okay. Take what did, and the rest will absolutely fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours, all right? So I really, really hope you enjoyed the messages, the energy, the vibe today. And my dear group 3 friends, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Group 4, for all of our friends who picked the red generator stone, this reading is for you for our week ahead. So we'll slide your oracle cards to the side, and we'll get into the guts of your reading with our power animal for this week. For you, that is Weasel. I love that. The number 33 too coming out. That's the second time. All right. All right. So this week, I honestly feel like this is like going back to another reading, but what's happening is there's something that you've been thinking about, and something that you feel like you thought needed to, it needed to happen in order for you to get to where you're going, or it needed to happen for you to for your dreams to come into being. It's almost like a price that you feel like you had to pay. And it seems like there's this weasel energy, like this barter or this bargain type energy. And it seems like Spirit is like, I don't want to bargain with you. I don't want to make some exchange. This is not tit for tat. This is not the energy that, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I'm giving to you. I give to you. So I feel like this weasel energy is kind of like representing in your life, or like showing up in your life as like you're going to see the places in which you felt like you had to weasel your way into or out of something in a way that didn't feel like it was necessary. So I feel like this week the weasel energy is coming through. It's actually like a really, really cute energy. It feels very innocent. Like, it's like, oh, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to prove this energy. You don't have to bargain. You don't have to barter with your worth or your value or who you are as a person. You don't have to weasel out of every situation, really, because it's like, literally, Spirit is like, whatever needs to come to you will come to you in time, whether it is an unpleasant experience or a pleasant one. You don't have to try to pay some universal cost with, some type of death or dying or giving away or some like over sacrificing. You don't have to try to like you don't have to weasel your energy. I'm here. You don't have to weasel your energy. They're saying we don't need that from you. It's funny because like your spirit guides are coming through like we don't need that from you. So if there's like any way in your life where you feel like you're trying to like overprove something, or you're like really really trying to be understood by other people, or you're really really trying to like force an opinion or idea onto somebody else, or even onto your own self, like it has to be this way, and if it's not this way that means that I'm not good enough, or if it's not this way that means it's not meant to happen, or something like that. And it's just not really an aligned energy. Like it feels very unaligned. So I feel like what is happening is you're exposing this patterning that you have, this tendency that you have, so that you can move out of this. So I feel like this week is just about exposing a patterning for you. So I feel like it's funny because there's another group like this. There was something that you were predicting. It was like, oh, like this has to be like, maybe that's why it showed up in that group. So if you were also drawn to another group, that's probably why, because these two are like very intertwined. They're like talking to each other. But if you're drawn to that group, it seems like you were expecting some type of tragedy, expecting some type of devastation, expecting something scary or something large or something big, and you were expecting this because it's probably my group, but you're expecting this because you wanted to pay back or atone for something. So with that atonement, it will make you worthy of something else. So it was like, as the weasel energy, you were trying to barter, you were trying to bargain, or like trying to weasel your way out of something. And I don't necessarily mean that like in a negative way, but it was like you were trying to make a deal with the universe. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to like make a deal. Like it's almost like this deal with the devil type energy. It's like, if I allow this, this big lightning strike to happen to me, can I have this in return? That's kind of like the energy. So I feel like what's happening is you're going to be exposing this kind of pattern so that you can get out of that patterning. I don't want you to think that anything bad or devastating or crazy is going to happen per se. But what I'm saying is there's this pattern that just needs to be released, because it's just, this pattern can't go where you're going. And you're being fully guided, fully led, and fully protected during this. And I feel like there are just going to be some people, places, and things put into your life to like expose this patterning this week, so that you can like really work through it. Because it's just really important that you kind of like get this tit for tatness out of the way. Because it's like at all times you're giving, at all times you're receiving. Like there's no either or. So you're moving out of this tit for tat energy, this either or energy, so that you can move better into wholeness, and that you can sit comfortably within wholeness, so that you can feel the fullness of the universe besides feeling the scarcity within it. Because when you operate out of this weasel energy with the either or, there's always this level of scarcity that's present. I have to do this or else. It's an or else type energy that you're dealing with. And I feel like the universe is really trying to pry your grip off of that energy, loosen your grip on this either or. Like it has to be this way, or I have to pay this amount, I have to pay this cost, it has to be this value. You're prying your grips off of the either or. Like I see like this weasel that has like this big piece of food and like eating it, and like like the weasel like will finish the food and it wants more, but it's like what do I have to do in order to get this? And I feel like this is stepping out of this like, what do I have to do to get this? But it's a more so of, what are the words, like not taking more than what you need, and like waiting patiently to get like more of what you want. Because I feel like some of the situations that you've experienced in your life are like more so what you need, and maybe not what you want, but they are what you need to like expose some really age-old patterning that you have, so that you can move out of that patterning and into a better part of you, into a better like interpersonal relationship. Like it's just like all these different levels of patterning that you've been exposing that I see. And it's like this weasel running through a race too. It's really, really funny. And just like going under, going over, trying to like find its way out. It's really funny. But really what's happening is you're just being led, like this cookie crumb kind of like led energy, but like you're exposing on the way you're patterning. So I feel like you're going to get to the other side. You're going to get to the other side just fine. But I feel like this week you're going to be exposed to another level of patterning that's kind of like ready to be redefined, reframed, integrated so that it can be worked through with you in a way that's actually beneficial to you, yourself, and others, in a way that's not so manipulative and harmful to yourself and others. Because it's not necessarily that this it has to be like some type of like negative reading or something like that. It is for some of us for sure, but like not necessarily negative either. It's more like you're just exposing some conditioning, some patterning, a way that you use, a survival, modality, a way that you use in order to get what you wanted, a way that you use in order to survive. Like, this is more about surviving. But I feel like with the energy that you're working with currently, you're not surviving, you're thriving. You're moving into thriving. Exactly. The cards that are like flipping out, I'm like, yeah, like this is that. So you're just really exposing a patterning, this tit for tat patterning that you've been working with. Oh, that's funny. That's the second time that card came out. So bottom deck, we have the Four of Cups with turning in. So I love that energy. Yeah, you're definitely taking some time to like expose a lot of like old patterns. And then we have New Vision, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card, which is exactly what's happening for you. We have the Three of Cups that flipped out in reverse. And then we also had Fighting that flipped out in reverse. So honestly, I feel like what you're doing is you're doing a couple of things. You're exposing this patterning, this tit for tat, this either or. And what you're also doing is you're stopping, you're like stepping out of this energy of delaying your own process, like you're stepping more so into trust. Because I feel like you have a tendency to delay your own process. Like, I can't do this until that happens. And with the Knight of Swords, with Fighting in reverse, I feel like that is the representation, and the Celebration in reverse. I feel like that is a representation of you stepping out of this age-old patterning of constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, or this isn't good enough, or this isn't going to happen, or it hasn't happened yet, so it's not meant to be. You're exposing this old patterning so that you step out of it, so that you step in wholeness and know that everything that's happening for you is happening for you. Everything that's happening to you is happening for you. It's all part of your process. And in this patterning that you have has been kind of like trying to delay your experience, kind of like getting in the way, like, I can't date this person until I'm skinny, or I can't do this until that, and I can't do that until this, and I can't do this until that. So it's this constant like trap that you're making, or this constant like barrier that you're creating for your own self, and it's like getting in the way. And the reason why it's in the way, because it's part of the way. It's in the way because it's part of the way. So that's something to always remember. It's in the way because it's part of the way. Yeah, this is like a really old, like annoying pattern that you have of like being either or, ultimate, like very ultimatum based with the Weasel energy. It's very ultimatum based. It's very or else. It's like, I have to do this or else. I feel like Spirit is like really trying to expose this for you, because it's just like, I feel like it's just so beautiful on the other side. But right now it's like this fighting energy, which is really annoying. And it mainly has to deal with trust and self, which is funny, but is it trust in the universe too that's happening? Like trusting in the magic of the universe that's happening. A new perspective that's like, you have the new vision, it's there, it's yours, it's just, are you willing to trust it or not? So I feel like this week will really help you, because I feel like who's ever watching this reading is extremely like resisting pretty hard. And it's probably just me, so I'm probably resisting too, to be honest. But there's definitely a level of resistance that's happening. And that's because you have all these voices and all these things in your head telling you all these things and trying to keep you locked into certain levels of patterning. Because this patterning feels comfortable. It feels like cushioning. It feels very conditioning. It's conditioning. That's exactly what it is. So it feels comfortable because it's like it's very familiar. This new vision is not familiar, and you don't know where it's taking you, you don't know where it's leading you, and you don't know if there's going to be anything good on the other side, and you can't guarantee that to yourself. You can feel what you want to feel. Oh, look, right under that breakthrough. Look at that. I love that. And then right under that is the star, which is really, really interesting. So I feel like what's happening is the reason why I felt so guided to like pull this card up and then like these two cards are somehow just showing is I feel like with you delaying this process with this either or, this ultimatum type energy, because it feels like you keep not only putting yourself at this ultimatum, but it's also like you're trying to like give spirit this ultimatum or the universe this ultimatum, and the universe is like, no, I don't work like that. And until you're willing to work with me on my terms, you're going to continue to experience the same patterning until you can figure it out. You're going to continue with the same fighting, internal fighting especially, until you figure it out. So I feel like this is your key. And I feel like with this delaying energy, like I was saying earlier, this delaying energy is delaying the very breakthrough and the very silence of these voices that you're trying to get to, that you're desperate, to experience, or that you're trying to experience, that you want to experience. You're experiencing this process, and this is leading you to your breakthrough, and this is leading you to your silence, but it seems like there's like something has to come from the outside of you in order for you to understand it. Like you have to get it through your brain. Why we have the Knight of Swords here with fighting in reverse. There's a lot of conditioning that you're toiling through, and this conditioning is represented by all these projections of all these different voices. So this is society, friends, family, and everybody in their own demons and limitations and fears and goals and everything that makes them upset and everything that makes them angry and makes them, unsatisfied. This is all the stuff that you're listening to, and all the stuff where you're like, maybe if something big and crazy and spontaneous and nasty happens, maybe that will shut everybody up. Maybe that will just shut everything up. But really what is happening is you're taking responsibility for your own self, and you're taking responsibility for your own new visioning. And with you taking responsibility for your own new visioning, you're moving out of this ultimatum energy of, well, it's either or like, I have to put myself at this ultimatum. I either do this or I don't grow, or I either do this or I don't progress. I either do this or I don't evolve. You're taking yourself out of that energy and understanding that it's all part of the process. This is also just understanding that evil is evil as you would think of it, is even part of this process. Like this is what is evil here. I feel like that is too, you're stepping out of this like sense of evil too, because you're seeing more so these voices and these people as people who are wounded and people who are hurt, and not people who are necessarily soulless, or because nothing is soulless. Everything is of divine order. And evil, as we know it plays its role just as what we will represent as good. You know what I'm saying? So evil or whatever, like the suffering, we're experiencing that because we're on a plane in which we're going from deep separation and moving into deep unification, integration, wholeness. So in order for us to actually move towards such a deep level of that, we had to be moved into a deep sense of separation. So honestly, I feel like this tuning in energy, this Four of Cups energy, is really, really going to help you a lot. This sifting through, this getting rid of what is simply not yours, and releasing yourself of the same limitations that other people place on you, and the same limitations that other people place on themselves. You're just not playing with this energy anymore. I honestly feel like this turning in is literally, or tuning in really, like a tuning fork energy that I'm feeling. Look, you have breakthrough, silence, and abundance under there, which I didn't even notice at first. The creator right there, and then it's abundance. That's funny, I didn't notice that. So I honestly feel like this is you definitely tapping into your core, finding your own radiance. This is the breakthrough energy that you've been waiting for. It's on your path. It's on the path. But I feel like you have to make the choice to accept this new visioning of, it doesn't have to be either or. It doesn't have to be tit for tat. This situation doesn't necessarily have to be hard. You have to like really honor the fact that you are moving places energetically that other people are not moving, and those other people are just going to be left to their own devices, their own devices. So honestly, I feel like what is really getting in the way is the internal fighting. And I feel like this week you're going to be exposed to that patterning in a big way, and you can finally move through and work through the process of that patterning and really hone in on this energy of the new vision, of the new visioning. It's really, really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful energy. This week, exposing this pattern, this ultimatum pattern that you have, because the universe is literally like, spirit is literally like, we're not working like that. I'm not working with you. And this energy that's under the turning in, it like, this energy is unsustainable. Like, this energy is it's unsustainable for this. This energy can't survive there. You see what I'm saying? This energy can't survive there. So that's just really what's happening. That's the process that you're undergoing, which is really cool. It's a really, really cool energy. I like that a lot. So let's get into your chakra wisdom card. Let's see what chakra is working with exposing this patterning for you this week. So we have instinct. Yeah, that makes total sense. First chakra, base chakra with instinct. I trust that my instincts are correct, and I let my natural intuitive feelings guide me forwards. I will know what I need to do and how to respond with wisdom to situations that come my way. I have an innate desire to be of service in life, and as I tap into this feeling, I will know what service I'm called to do. I believe in myself. Exactly. So I honestly feel like, too, a really good antidote for this energy, this instinct, this ultimatum energy is believing in yourself. Because when you create the either or, it's like you're trying to create your escape. You're trying to create your escape plan just in case things fall, go to shit. So that's the weasel energy. You're weaseling. So it's like you're trying to create this escape plan, like, oh, if everything goes south, I have plan, A, B, X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, this is more of a situation where you're being guided to reach a new level of visioning and a new level of really existence. So this is demanding a newer level from you. And the more that you keep resisting, the more that you keep delaying this celebratory experience that is on the other side of this energy. Honestly, that's what I feel. So the Moonology card that's helping you with this patterning energy, also that will be supporting you throughout this current moon cycle, we have confidence is your key to success. Whew, they're calling you out. They're being serious. They're like, New moon in Leo, which is funny because our bottom deck for the collective energy is don't let pride get in your way, and right under that is what do you need to release? But right under that, too, is conclusions are within reach. So I feel like you're fine, honestly. You have new vision out here. So I honestly feel like you're fine. It's just tapping into that patterning and really exposing it, and releasing it from your identity. Because it does feel like it's something that you try to identify with. So let's get into the animal spirit card that'll be supporting you through this moon cycle. You have... oh, look at that. Sweet results await. See, I'm saying, you're fine. You're fine. Honestly, you're fine. It's just really releasing this old cycling of fighting and ultimatum. It's like that is what was keeping you trapped. Excuse me, my throat. I'll get to group 4 and I'm drying out. But that was what was keeping you trapped in this old cycling. But I honestly feel like with this turning in energy, you're figuring out how to make your way out in a way to where you can still be whole and be an authentic human being. But you don't always have to create some type of escape route or some type of weaseling or some type of tit for tat. So the law of Ma'at that you will be integrating this week is I advance through my own abilities. Exactly. I advance through my own abilities. You have instinct out here. And you have the Leo energy. Confidence is your key to success. Exactly. You're really fine. You're really, really, really okay. And then our Whispers of the Ocean card we have for you is empower yourself. They're really coming after you. Tune into your personal power. You're more than able to handle the situation facing you. Allow yourself to be strong, beautiful. Be the strong, beautiful person you're capable of being. Exactly. And our Cosmic Dancer card. This card will represent the energy that'll help get you moving this week. So whatever's on this card, if you feel stuck or stagnant at all this week, especially when you're working with releasing this old patterning, this will be the card that'll help you. So you have Breathe that in with me for a moment, group 4. Celebrate growth and breakthroughs. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. You are releasing an old pattern. It's something that you are actively doing. You know, and if you feel like you aren't actively doing that, you are going to do that. Like, it's in your way. It's in your way because it's part of the way. It's in your way because it's part of the way. Because this patterning is definitely like going to kill a part of you that needs to like go. You know, it's like it's going to release a part of you. And honestly, I'm saying release, but the word is die, kill. Like, it's going to kill a part of you that has really, really been holding you back, or creating like these delayed experiences, or these like false starts, or like these like, oh yeah, like I like this is gonna happen, and it, you know, like it seems like everything for you just continuously fell short. But I feel like you're finally deadening, you know, putting a cap on this energy that, you know, you just, this tit for tat, either or, you know, this delayed victory. I can't do this until that. This can't happen until this. It's like that's all going down the drain where it needs to go so that it can be redefined. So I honestly feel like that is what is happening for you this week, is this like redefining, you know, of like what this energy means to you or for you, and like this redefining of like what an ultimatum actually means for you, and like, why are you tit for tat? You know, what are you trying to get? What are you trying to weasel yourself into? What are you weaseling yourself out of? What is this patterning, and how is this patterning benefiting you? But honestly, I feel like the key is turning inside, trusting yourself, tuning into you, knowing who you are. You literally have I advance through my own abilities plus instinct out here. It all wraps up nicely. It all makes sense. Get ready to celebrate your growth and breakthroughs. And actually, don't get ready to do it. Do it now, because you've grown a lot, and you've grown a lot more than you give yourself credit for. So really, really trust who you are and trust who you're becoming, because it's really, really beautiful. Group 4. So, all the groups were so interconnected today. It's like literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, just all on the same line, just streamlining just to get here to mastery, you know, all the time. So I love you so much, group 4. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. Now, if you did not like the reading or it didn't resonate, that's okay. Absolutely okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You are not obligated to hold on to anything, absolutely anything that is not yours. So I hope you enjoyed the energy and the vibe, and I hope you really gained something from this. And I hope to see you next time, group 4. Bye-bye.